I'm in the Easter department at Hobby Lobby, and they're just a little stand. And these I have done real simple because I've just been doing the bases to match the piece, okay? But now, girls, I've done so many of them, and I've got so many different colors of metallic. It's all done the same way, whatever metallic you use. So there's no way that I can pick out one after I've had it a week. Unless I done it today, I can't tell you what color's on it, because every time I sit down here to paint one, I just grab a metallic and mix it up, and if it's something I like, I use it. Okay? Okay, how to find it? Yes. Peggy, who already joined? Okay, I'll have to check that. Usually I get a notice on PayPal when somebody joins, or I'll check that tonight. If one of you've already joined, I'll check that tonight and see who it is, and then you'll be in the, it'll probably already have you in there waiting to be accepted. We joined the private class what time on Tuesday? Okay. Okay, yeah, we'll figure that out tonight. If you've already joined, it'll pop up in there. Phyllis, these eggs came from either Home Goods or TJ Maxx. I was at both of those stores last week on the same day. And when I come home, I'll usually just take the tags off, so I don't have the tag on that. But I think I bought some from both places. So TJ Maxx or Home Goods is where you should be able to find them if they've got any left. I was in our TJ Maxx yesterday, and they didn't have any more. I took the girls out. We went out last night to eat supper and to shop a little bit, and we went to TJ Maxx, and they didn't have any more eggs there at ours. But you should be able to find them. But there's different eggs in different Marshalls. Marshalls and TJ Maxx, if I'm not mistaken, belongs to the same company. So you may be able to find them at Marshall's too. No, they're not ceramic, they're resin. They're resin and they're hollow inside. And most of the resin pieces break real easy, but these are solid enough. I dropped one today in the floor over here and it didn't break. So they're a little bit more solid than the other pieces. The rabbits and things you buy in that resin, their ears will pop off as easy as can be when you drop them. If you knock them two against each other, it'll break them. So it's, you know, these are not as delicate as some of the other pieces are that's made out of resin. I did this one just a little while ago, so I can tell you what color. I did this one, and I put these, see all these different color jewels that I put on this one. This is the first one I've done and put the colored jewels on them. Most of them I've just put the iridescent, like the, you know, just the, like diamonds look. And I put those on there. But this one, and then those little caps on the top, that's in the jewelry section of Hobby Lobby. That's a little cap that they put on, like when they're making a necklace and they want to have a cap on it to do, that's what those little caps are. And they bend, so you can open them up and, you know, and use them. But this one, I did mix black and gold metallic. Empress Gold and black gave me this color. And then when I went back in with my waxes, I went back in with different waxes. I think I used this copper on this one. This is my favorite. These waxes in the tube are my favorite kind. And I have told you before, I've bought them on Etsy and I've bought some on Amazon. So today I went looking to see for different colors, and I didn't find too many. But if you just put that in Etsy, and it's Art, ART, ALCHEMY. I don't know how you pronounce that, but that's the brand of them. So, but you can find those on any, and I like them in the tube. It's like using Rub and Buff. You know, when you squirt that out of that tube, you don't put out much. But when you have them in the jars, if you don't use them, you know the old saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. Well, these, if you don't use them, you lose them. Because see how quick, how bad they dry out. Now that one is a Pin Art, and it's called Patina. It's gold, waxed by Pin Art. And I don't know, I've not had it very long, a few months, but once you open it, they dry out. They dry out really quick. So I don't like that. That's the only thing I don't like about the ones in the jars. Now these others, like these, this one doesn't do that. Dixie Belle waxes, stays good. These all stay good. I've got this one in gray and clear and other colors, you know, and these hold up good. But now those in the little jars, you know, some of them I've even had to throw away, so they don't hold up very good. Let's see what this one, I've not had this one very long. This one's kind of a new one, so it's still okay in there. And that one is a pin art too. I like the pin art waxes, but I don't want them, you know, I don't use them enough to want them, I don't want them to dry out on me so fast. And I don't know if there's a way to keep them from drying out. I haven't found it yet. I've not really looked, but I haven't found it. Okay, enjoy being here tonight. Linda, we enjoy having you. Good evening, Brenda. And okay. Alchem, Alchem. Well, I'm terrible with, like I said, I'm terrible with pronunciation for some of them things. Have you tried a drop of essential? No, I've not tried anything in them, Gail. I'm going to have to do that because I've got a lot of them, and I don't want them to dry out to where I can't use them. So I either need to try that, maybe some oils, or to ask. Maybe I can send a message to them and ask them what, you know, how you keep them from drying out on you. And somebody messaged me today, don't remember who it was, and she had found the cream paste. Hello, Joan. She had found the cream paste that we use in the lace molds for $6.99, and it was a scrapbook website. And I've got it. I'll try to remember to put it over in here, a link to it, because it was for the stuff that we've been using, and it was $6.99. But of course, you pay the freight on that. Laureen, you put plastic wrap over top and then the lid. And on the waxes, well, we may have to try that too. Well, try something, because like I said, I don't want them to, some of them I might not use but once a month. So I don't want it to dry out on me, because I don't do a lot of wax stuff. I've done more lately than I ever have. So, but this one's just got all kinds of designs on it, and it turned out really, really pretty. But like I said, this one is the black with the Empress Gold, and this is Deco Art, Empress Gold. The best thing to do is just sit down with your palette and, you know, your paper, your mixes, and pull out your metallic paints and mix a little bit of black in with them and see what you got. And if you got a color you like, the first one you mix, then that's the one I use that day. But to remember, you know, what's on what egg, I couldn't tell you. I don't remember what I put on this one, but it's kind of a silvery. See, this one I done 3 or 4 days ago, and I don't remember what I put on it, because I've got probably 20 different colors of metallic sitting over here, and just in all kinds of stuff. See, I've got them in, that one says fiery copper, so they're just in all different shades, and I just pull one and give it a try. So that's what we're going to do tonight, and I pulled a red. I'm going to try this red and see what we come up with. I wonder if you could heat it up. I don't know. I'm going to try some things. I'm going to try some different things and see how it works. Or I will send, I bought most of those on TH Decor, which is a really good website, and I've been buying quite a bit from that company lately. And also, I may just send her a message and see, you know, if there's some way to keep them from drying out. Okay, I'm going to shake this red up, and I've got a little bit of black over here on my palette. When you mix the colors, you want to always start with your lightest shade first, whatever you're mixing, whatever color you're mixing. Okay, so I'm going to start with my red. This one has the butterflies on it, and this is one like the first one I done. I don't have it out here. It's got butterflies and flowers. It's got a ladybug on it, a couple of ladybugs and butterflies and flowers. Just got all kinds of real pretty designs on it. I love these. They've turned out to be so pretty. This is, you know, every day I want to paint one of them to see what I'm getting, how it comes out. Okay, I put some red. Might not have mixed that up good enough. I put some red out here on my palette. And I'm going to start with my black just a little bit at a time. Pick up a little bit of black and put over in that. And just see what I get. And when it achieves, if I think I'm going to like it, and when I achieve the color I like, I'll stop with the black. Okay, that's giving me kind of a burgundy color. And with them all being, with them all being metallics, yeah, that's kind of a purpley burgundy color. I like that. That might be what I saw on that other egg. Okay, that's a pretty good color. So I'm going to, I don't think you can see that, but you know, right in here. But I'm going to mix a little bit more of it so I'll have enough. So I'm going to put me a little more red in there. I'd rather mix too much is not enough, because you're more than likely going to have to put 2 coats of whatever you use. Putting a little more red and a little more black in there. Plus I need a base. I want to do a base in the same color. I hope I've got a base that's already painted white. I forgot to set one over here. Because I want the base. I don't want the base on these little ones to be that. Now those big ones that I've done, the base is elaborate as the egg. Let me get me a egg base over here. Okay. When I bought these bases, they were in all different colors. They were pink and green and yellow. You'll find them in the Easter section. So I painted them. Okay, I've not got that one sprayed. I got to get another one. I spray painted them white. Let me get another one. That one's not sprayed on the top. Oh, Lordy, I may not have one. Okay. See, here's one when I first got them. That one was pink when I got it. So you'll find them in colors. And then I just used my Rust-Oleum paint, spray paint white, and I painted them white all over. So I want to do it the same color as the egg. So I want to, you know, have it out, have it ready to go. The eggs come from, Connie, the eggs come from, you probably can get them at Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods, because I have purchased from all 3 places, and I think TJ Maxx and Marshalls is the same company. I think the same company owns them. So if one of them gets, they usually both get. And then Home Goods. I bought some this past weekend from TJ Maxx and Home Goods. So I think I bought some at both places. So you can find them, and you know, if they're still available, you can find them in those stores. Now I've got, this one's kind of like a burgundy. So I'm going to start on the bottom down here. And I've got a pretty good size wide brush, because I'm going to have to be kind of rough with it to get it in there. So this is just a base coat brush, okay? So I'm going to start with my red and just start down here. Yep, that's a pretty color. It's kind of a burgundy color. See, you can still see some of that red. And if you wanted it darker, you could put a little more black. You put the color in till it suits you. And I'm going to go ahead and paint the bottom of it. So these colors is just, you know, whatever you like. I haven't done any of the colors in the metallics that I wasn't pleased with. And you just scruff that brush, because you got to get down in all them little nooks and crannies. So you're just going to have to use your brush. That's why I've got this big brush. And I can just kind of scruff it along that to get down in those little spots. And this one's going to have 2 coats. Very seldom do you get it on there in 1 coat. I might have done one that was 1 coat. I don't remember. Because most of the time it takes 2 coats to get a good coverage. Home Goods is the same company. Okay, then they're all, she says they're all 3 the same company. So they've got tons. When I went to, last night I was back in, like I said, I was back out to TJ Maxx with the girls. and they was shopping for clothes, and I was looking around. We took the great-granddaughter, which is 4 years old, so me and her was going through the store just looking mostly for toys. She was buying toys. So we was looking, and they had a ton of Easter stuff, way more than they'd had the week before when I was out there. So, but I had to make myself not buy anything. I said, no, I got too much to paint already. I'm not buying no more, because I've probably already spent $300 or more on Easter pieces. I'm going to have an auction, girls. So first, if you didn't hear me the last week, I'm going to do my first auction. I've still got a lot of stock in my building from doing shows for so long that I need to get out of here. So I've been taking some stuff to the thrift store. So I'm going to have the first auction on that I'm going to have is on March, the first Sunday in March. I'm going to have one and see how it goes. And anytime I'm painting, everything I do is for sale. So if you see me paint something or you see something on my page and you're interested in it, shoot me a message. I either put it on my Etsy shop, put it in my Etsy shop to sell, or I sell it on Facebook. You know, I have regular customers, so just shoot me a message and tell me you're interested in that, and I'll give you a price on it, because everything I do is for sale. Okay. Hi, Debbie. How are you? If I miss your comments, girls, I always go back and read them. So I'll go back and answer your questions the best I can. This is a pretty color. This is kind of like a maroon. And this one is red. This is Deco Arts Fiesta Red in metallics. Okay. When you go into Hobby Lobby, you just go to the paint section and look at. They got so many different colors of metallics, and I usually pick up a couple. Every time I go in, I'll go see what they've got, and I'll pick up a couple of some kind. So I've accumulated a lot of different colors, and I love to work with them. I'm going to paint down as far as I can without getting my fingers in it. And then I will dry part of that and turn it up the other way. These go quick. You can paint them, you know, if you were painting them, these would be beautiful table centerpieces if you was going to have an Easter party or a church function and thing. These would make gorgeous for table pieces. These little eggs were $5.99, and of course our tax is 10%, so we're paying about $7 for one. Our consumers tax is high here in Tennessee. But I don't really mind that, because consumer's tax is the only fair tax there is, because everybody pays it. Okay, now I've got enough of that. I'm going to take my dryer real quick. Mix that, did you mix that metallic with a solid? I did. I mixed it with black. And the black is not metallic. Good enough. I hope it does well too, Debbie. I want to do that, and if I'm, well, I can't talk and do this. Let me get this over first. Hey, Mary Jane, how are you? You can always watch your replay, girls. But I did mix it with the metallics are colored, and then the other color that goes with it, I've always used the black in it. Okay. Put that back on the hanger here. Now I see some little spots down in there that I missed. go back and paint those so we get all the little spots. You have to be careful with all to make sure the final thing you want to do before you don't have enough paint, you know, before you run out of paint, is make sure you got all the little spots covered, because there's so many there and it's deep in some places, so get it covered. Now I'm going to set it down this way and start up the rest of it. When you're working, of course, I've always, you know, if you know me before, I've been in this business for many, many years, and I always done it to sell. I've always sold. And I've sold in craft shows, and I've sold in the wholesale market, and I've sold retail, and, you know, I've sold Etsy and Amazon, eBay, and I did eBay for a while years ago. But I mean, and if you're a crafter, you eventually have to sell. If you're going to stay with it, you got to have an outlet to sell it, because you eventually get so many. I mean, if you're a crafter that's selling it, making it so much of it like we do in classes, then you got to have an outlet to sell it. So, and now that I don't do shows, and I've got to find another outlet to get rid of it, or I won't be able to do that much of it, because I can't just keep storing it. So got to get rid of it. The more times, Mary Jane, the more times you might watch a replay, the more you learn, because you'll always see something that you didn't see the first time. I do that. I go back, and some of the, I like to be on YouTube, but what gets me with a lot of YouTube, especially the ones who do such beautiful decoupage who are in the other countries, because they don't speak English, most of their videos don't have any, you know, any words to them. And you have to really, really pay attention to what they're doing to see, or stop and start that video to, you know, to figure out what they're doing. So sometimes I've watched one 10 times. And I don't like to do that, because that's a waste of my time, but that's the only way you can figure it out. I'd rather have somebody talk to me when they're doing a video. I'd rather hear them tell me what they're doing. I can do that and sit here and work and listen to it. Hello, Natalie. Boy, the holidays this year are all right close together. I mean, Valentine's is over, and Easter is the end of March, so Easter's and then we're going to be, you know, then we're going to have a time there, a period where we don't have anything then till things. So after Easter, you got to start working on Christmas stuff. Which is sad, but if you sell, that's the way you have to do. You got to stay ahead of it. You got to already be thinking what's going to hit this year. But now these metallic colors and the old world stuff and all is really popular right now. You look on the websites and on the things, you'll see a ton of it. Start, stop. That's what you have to do, Chris. You have to start them and stop them. And I'm not one, I don't watch nothing on my phone. I don't do nothing on my phone but make phone calls. Use the GPS when I'm traveling. So I'm watching them on the tablet but to stop and start them, it's better on the desktop. So sometimes I'm sitting there at that desktop till my back hurts, and then I have to give it up and quit. But I watch them either I have an iPad and a tablet. I have a laptop, but I don't like a laptop. So I don't like to sit and hold that laptop to use it. So I like my tablet. I film on a tablet on an Android, and then I've got an iPad. Okay, I'm going to have to do 2 coats on this one. Now, if you get low on paint, the best time to mix it is while you still got enough on your palette to put some more in it and get it about the same color. Okay. You watch them on TV. I don't do that. I don't think I've ever watched one on TV. If I like to watch a good movie every now and then, and usually I'll watch that on TV. Or if there are shows on there, I love American Idol. It's coming back on this week. That's one of my favorite shows. I love to watch it, and it's coming on. So I record everything. I have set my machine to record the things that I like to watch, and then when I sit down late at night, I go through the recordings and see what's been on that day or the couple of days before, and that's what I watch them on. And I like the Real Housewives, which is sad, but I like to watch them. I wouldn't tell you what my husband calls them, but I won't. Oh, he likes to watch them old westerns. Okay, see, that's a pretty good color. I like Survivor, Phyllis. I like Survivor. And I've been watching one lately of a family from Alaska who does homestead rescues and helps people at homesteads. And I love that. That's been so interesting. I've just hit it a couple of months ago. That is a pretty color. See that? Kind of a maroon. Homestead Rescue, that's what it's called. Yes, I love that. I like a good series. It's that, and I get into a good series on Netflix or somewhere, but I like the ones, I don't like things about outer space and stuff. I like ones that can be kind of true to life. But now, one of my favorites I love Outlanders. I've watched it all, and I love that one. And I like the one, let's see, what was that one called? I'll think of it in a minute. It was really good. But I like a good series that's on. And any of you ever remember Richard Chamberlain? He was passed away years ago, but he was a very good actor. When we was growing up, he was on TV as Dr. Kildare. And he made some really good series, good TV series. And I love them. And I bought his one of Shogun, which is about Chinese. If you've never seen that, it's a wonderful thing. Yeah, Thornbirds. He made some really good ones. I like Yellowstone. He made some really good ones. Well, his movie, what did I just say? I done forgot now. Oh, Shogun, about the Chinese. It's way back in like the 1700s, and they get on a ship to China, and it's all about that. And it's kind of a love story. It's really good. They're doing a remake of it, and it's going to be on. My son told me to let and it's going to be on a channel in the next couple of weeks. But now I bought that one. That one was so good. I liked it. I bought that video years ago. I found it on eBay, and I bought it, and I love it. It's about. It was filmed. It was about. Used to be they'd be on once a week, like the Thornbirds and them, and you'd have to watch them. But this one, I don't know how long it is, but it's 2 videos. It takes you, 2 or 3 days now to watch it, even on the videos. But I like a good series like that. Oh, The Handmaid's Tale. You've watched that one? Dr. Kildare and Dr. Ben Casey. That was it. There was 2 of them. But if you've not watched The Handmaid's Tale, it's a weird movie, but boy, it's good. You have to really pay attention. and it was a series. It's on, I don't know if it's on Netflix. I don't think it's on Netflix. I think it was on Hulu or one of the others. But it sure was good. Okay, I've just about got it. Enjoy videos. You enjoy my videos, spend time watching them. Oh, don't have time to do crafting for myself. Oh gosh, you need to do that. I don't know what I'd do if I didn't. Of course, I've done it so many years. And I sit in the house. I dream of things, girls. You do things, you get into it so deep. And you dream about new things that you can do. You wake up in the middle of the night and you think, ooh, I can do that. Which is silly, but it's real. It happens. You go to bed thinking about it and you dream of something that you can do. And then I'm up the next day, I'm telling Joe, I need you to make me this, make me that, so I can try it out. When we used to be getting ready for the craft shows, Lord, we'd be, Daryl and I, of course, when we was young too, we'd be on the road, we'd do a show, and then we'd be on the road half the night getting back home. Coming home at night. Now I wouldn't dare travel at night like that, but I did then. Of course, it was a lot safer then. People wasn't as crazy as they are now, so they didn't show it. We left Virginia Beach one year. We did a show in Virginia Beach, and it rained that evening. About the time we was to tear down, it started pouring the rain, and it didn't let up. It was so horrible. And we have a tent. We had a big double tent that we used outdoors, and we finally, us and everybody else that was there, ended up having to tear down in the rain. Tear your tent down and put your stuff in the van. We was soaking wet all the way through before we got done. And then we had to go down the road, had to travel as many miles it took us to get away from the storm, and then we had to get out of the van and unpack every piece and clean it to keep it from the papers from destroying it. You have a Joe too, Wanda, do you? That's my son. Joseph is his name. Stacy was my daughter's name. Joseph is my son's name. And my grandkids, my granddaughters are all M's. I have Miranda and Madison and Morgan. And then the little one, the great-granddaughter, is Peyton. And my two granddaughters have the last name Mullins, so their initials are MM. So, okay, I've got it. That is a pretty color. See that? See, that didn't take long. We've only been, of course, chit-chatting, but that's a beautiful color. That's the first time I've used that color. That's a gorgeous one. So I'm going to dry it, and then we can go right into the waxes. Your hair looks good tonight, Tana. Thank you. I ain't done nothing to it. It's just straggly today. I took Wednesday. See, I took the day off yesterday. Man, I had to do some housework. Had to clean my bathroom for one thing and do some laundry. And tomorrow I'm going to take the day off. I done some computer work yesterday. But tomorrow I'm going to take the day off too and get some other things done. It gets ahead of you. These are so fast to do, and they're simple. They're just like color book painting. One of the girls in the private class did one today and posted it. It was beautiful, and she had just done it. Now I've got a couple little spots down here that I got to make sure that I cover, and then I'm going to jump over while I've got enough paint. Hopefully I got enough paint to paint that base real quick so that it'll be the same. I'll let that sit there a minute, and I'm going to go in and paint this. And I think I need my bigger brush. Go back to my big one. One of my granddaughter's initials is MMM. When Maddie was in elementary school, a couple of teachers called her M&M because her initials were MM. Of course, she's got a middle name, but Brooke is her middle name, but they'd call her M&M. Your son's name, is your son named Joseph? My son's name is Joseph Darrell Nancy. My husband's name is Ralph Darrell, and that's funny because nobody knows he's Ralph except doctors and professional. When you go to the doctor and they call him Ralph, other than that, nobody knows he's Ralph. So, but that's his first name, his middle name. But now my son's name is Darrell too, Joseph Darrell. This is a pretty color. My husband likes westerns. He likes any kind, but he drives me crazy with Wells Fargo. I believe it is. Those old reruns of Wells Fargo, he's watching one every day. He watches that program every afternoon. He's watching Wells Fargo. And if I say anything about it, he tells me about the housewives. We never have liked the same TV shows. We've always, when we lived in West Virginia, our house was a lot bigger, and we had two TVs, two different TV rooms, and we never watched the same TV. He and I at night I'd be in one room watching TV, and he'd be in the other one watching TV, because we never liked the same shows. See, I've got to have two coats on that, and before I can paint that top, I'm going to have to dry that just a tad so I can set it down there. Gunsmoke, Wagon Train, all of them, that's what Darrell likes. Have Guns Will Travel, all those old westerns. My mom's 93-year-old husband, oh bless his heart to be 93. Darrell's sister called us today to wish him a happy birthday, and her husband will be 90 this year. And his health is really bad, so he's just, but he lives this year to birthday. He'll be 90 years old. I have a neighbor lives out here in front of me, and she will be 91 this year. And she's out the other day, last week, she was cleaning her yard. She cut her trees. She was out in the yard, I went by, and she was cutting the bushes and stuff, her bushes in the front yard. And she filled 6 garbage bags full of tree limbs and stuff in her yard for her son and them to take off, and she'll be 91 this year. I run into her at the post office yesterday, and I asked her, I said, what are you doing out there in that yard, doing that yard work like that? She said, well, I like to do it, and said I can get it done. And she was out, but now her mind is, she lives by herself. She said she said, I get a little scared at night. And I said, listen, call me, and one of my girls or my son will come up there. We'll come anytime because we live right behind her. And she kept repeating the same thing to me over yesterday. But now I couldn't believe 91 and out there in the yard. Okay, Tana, let's see, what did you say? Go to either of our... Do you get to go to either of our... What's a fire market, Tana? I don't know what that is. Okay, I'm going to set that aside a minute and hope that my paint... I better dry that so I can put another coat on it. I don't know what the fire market is. There's still lots of things in Tennessee I don't know about because I'm not out that much, you know. Let's see if I can get another coat on that real quick before I lose the paint. Oh, typo. Okay. Was you trying to say the flea market? Support. Typo. Oh, gosh. Lord, if if God lets you live to be in your 90s, if I've got a mind, if my mind is good and I can get around, I'll be okay. But if I don't want to live that. I don't want to live when I can't take care of myself, do for myself. We had a couple ladies over in Knoxville that run a kitchen. I can't remember what it was. I think they were twin, and they were still working in that kitchen and running that kitchen for the homeless when they was up in their 80s, and they lived to be, way up in the 80s or 90 years old, and ran a kitchen for the homeless over there. Okay. I'm trying to look at the messages and do this too. That's hard to do. Oh, she said flea market. No, Tana, I don't do the flea markets. I go to the flea market occasionally looking for stuff. I have a friend that said it has a shabby chic booth in the flea market out in town, and she's had one for years, and she's developed a following, so she does pretty good with it. Okay, got the base done now, and this one is dry enough for me to start on the waxes. I'm going to use a brush. Okay, where did I get the eggs? They come from either TJ Maxx or Home Goods. I've got my waxes out here, and I've got some, let's see, I've got that, I'm going to start with some gold, and I'm going to put the gold on the butterfly and the beetle. Then the flowers, I'm going to go with this pink that I've got. So I'm going to put just a little bit of Rub and Buff. This is Rub and Buff in the gold. I don't want to be that. No, Mary, if I can't, I don't want to have a lot of health issues. So far, I have good health, but I don't want to be sick. My sister, bless her heart, stayed in a nursing home about 3 years, and I hated that, to see her like that. She had a stroke and never did get over it. Now, I've put just a little bit. This is a dry brush, and it's kind of scruffy. It's a wore-out brush, okay? And I've got my Rub and Buff over here and just a gold Rub and Buff. And I just smeared a little bit on my paper, and I'm picking it up just a little bit on that brush, and just, it's a light touch, very light touch, okay? Going a light touch in here. And adding that gold. See how I put the gold on his wings? I'm going to do the butterflies. I'm going to put that gold on the butterflies and put some different colors on the flower petals. What's that palette I'm using? Chris, that's a wet palette. And I've used the same one, and see, I've got a spot now. I'm seeing spots where I didn't get it painted. So I've got a little bit of paint left. I need to go back in there. You always have to watch that because there's lots of little nooks and crannies there that you can easily miss them until you start. When you start with the waxes, then they'll pop up on you. It's a wet palette. It's the one I have I bought. Masterson, I believe, and I've had it for probably 25 years. But it's a box with a sponge in the bottom of it, and I wet that sponge every day, and I have just a paper on top of it, like a wax paper, and then it keeps my paint wet all day long. I can put paint out of the morning, and I've still got paint in the evening if I've not used it all. I'm curious about the brand of my paints. I don't have any particular brand. This one happened to be Deco Art. I have some Deco Art, some Americana, I've even got some Anita's. I've got some Folk Art. All of them is bottles of metallics, and I just, in Hobby Lobby, I just picked up all different kinds of metallic paints. See, this one's a Folk Art. So when you go into Hobby Lobby, go to the paint section and go to the metallics and just pick out what you like. Now, I have bought some metallics from some Pin Art metallics, but I haven't played with them yet, so I can't really tell you anything about them so far because I have just got them in the last couple of weeks and I've not done anything with them. Now, I'm going to take, there's a little beetle on here, and I'm going to put a little gold on that beetle. No, they're not egg when I first got them. They're not white. They're all different colors. Some was blue. I think this one was pink. They're just different colors, the eggs are. They're not white. But they don't have to be, and if they're not white, they don't have to be white, because using these metallic colors, and these eggs don't have any finish on them. They're solid color. They're not, they don't have any shine to them is what I'm trying to say. So you don't have to paint them white. You can just pick it up and start working on it and do your painting on it, especially using the black and the metallics. You don't have to do anything to prep it. I've used Pin Art metallics, and you like them. Yeah, a lot of them do, Jennifer. I've been watching people use them, but I haven't yet. I just got them. I got them when the weather was cold there, and when we had that real bad spell, and they got lost in the mail. UPS lost my package, so I've just got them in. I've had them a few days, but I haven't played with them yet. I will, because they had some colors that I didn't see, and I've watched some others using them, so I will get into them, but I just haven't so far. I like these for what I'm doing and mixing them with the blacks. I like them real well. And I've also used them as their color that the metallic is. But when I do that, I undercoat them with a color of regular paint in the same color. If I'm picking up red metallics, then I'm going to put a red regular paint underneath it. And that's going to give you a real metallic color. Because metallics are so transparent that you have to put something underneath them to get them to show up as metallics. Where you got to put them over top of, of another color. I love the teal. I've used the teal metallic a lot, but I also have a teal paint that I use underneath it. Okay, now I've just about got the gold. I just put the gold on the butterflies on this one, and on the these little beetles. Okay, see how pretty that gold is on there? See that? Just going around with it. Put it down on the butterflies. Now I'm going to just wipe my brush. Hey Don, how are you? Thank you, Sylvia. And I'm going to go in now and choose me another color here. And this one is Sweet Rose. It's called Sweet Rose. I think this is the one I used. I think this is the one gives me the pink shade. I'm going to have to try it and see, because I've got one that's blue. See, I've got a copper out here. Okay, I believe this is the one. So I'm going to put out a little bit of this one. When you get these out of the tube, you don't want to squirt out too much. You can always get you out some more, because what you squirt out you have to use. You can't put it back. And I'm using the same brush. You can't clean a wax brush. Once you've got that wax on it, you can't clean it. But if you just wipe it real good, you can just stick it back in a cup and you can use it again. Okay, using a little bit of this pink now, and I'm going to start right here on the flowers. Yeah, and come in with that. Yeah, that's the right color. And I'm going to put it kind of heavy out on the edges because I want that to show. So I'm just starting out on the edge of the flower and pulling in a little bit toward the center. See if you can see that. Right down here is where I've just covered that one. Okay. I want me a green wax because I had the leaves. Today I was looking for something in the green to do some leaves, but I didn't have anything in it. I learned the base coat need the hard way. Definitely must with metallics. Base coat the hard way. What do you mean now, Jennifer? Under your Pin Art Metallics, you base coat. If you start with a surface that's matte finish, you know, if it's not glass, you always have to prep glass. So. But now these, I've not done any base coating on these. Not base coat with white. I just went right in them with my metallics and the black. Then the beads I put on there are done with the little, they're all the little beads that when you're looking for them to buy them, they're in the section for the nail art. You buy those little tiny, tiny beads that they put on fingernails, is what they are, and they're put on with a wax. You have to have a wax applicator to put them on with, and you can buy them. I've bought a bunch from Temu. I've bought them from Amazon, and they're real simple. You think that little thing, but that little wax pick picks those beads up no matter how tiny they are. It picks them right up, and you can put them in place. And I use the E7000 glue to put them on with. What do you use to prep glass? I use the spray paint. I spray paint everything. And I use Rust-Oleum's 2-in-1 as a spray. And I just take them outside and I base coat them with spray paint. Don't have to do anything before that. You just have to make sure your glass is clean. I'm not a big fan of chalk paint. I've not ever had to use chalk paint. Occasionally I do something. If I have something that's glass and I can't spray it, say it's glass and it's got something else on it, you know, besides just the glass, then I use Joe Sonya's 2-in-1 or all-purpose primer. I use it, and it goes on clear, and I'll paint a coat. That's just kind of like using Slick Stick. It just happens to be, I've never used Slick Stick, but it serves the same purpose because I've always used this. When you get something you like, you kind of stay with it. And I've always used her product, but I will put a coat of that on first. before I paint the glass, and then I just paint it with my white acrylics. Ceramic glass, same. Ceramic glass, same as regular glass. Yeah, if I'm doing something that's in ceramics, I would do it the same way. I paint metal. If I'm painting on metal, I spray paint it. I buy spray paint by the case, so I use a lot of it. I buy white, Rust-Oleum's white matte finish, and I order it from not Lowe's, the other one, Home Depot. And I live right close to Home Depot, but I just soon order it and have it delivered to the house. So I just order it, and then I buy the Rust-Oleum's 2-in-1 spray varnish to varnish with. If I want to spray something, varnish it, I use their varnish too. Otherwise, I use a brush-on varnish of Jo Sonja's. See, those are the purple. See the purple? You can see the pink shows up on that. See this one? I've got this one, this one. Okay, let's see what one's not done here. Okay, this one's not done. See how that is? And then this, turn around to this one that's shiny, how pretty it is. It's done. Okay, so I'm just working my way around and doing all the flowers with this color. Use Slick Stick. A lot of people use Slick Stick. I just never have tried it. Like I said, when you get something that's like crackle, I use a crackle medium by, I've used for years. When you get something and you like it, you kind of stay with it until they discontinue it, and then you're hurting. Then you got to find a new one. For years, I painted with, I varnished with Ceramcoat. Had a fantastic varnish, and it was good for indoors, outdoors. I painted all kinds of yard stuff all year round, and people still today will notify me, I bought your snowman in 20 years ago and I'm still using him. So that's how good it was for outdoors. I could use it indoor and outdoors. And then all of a sudden, I got some in one year and it wouldn't work. It was awful. Awful going on. Awful, I just couldn't do a thing with it. So I figured it had froze. I thought, well, this stuff got froze. Because if you buy stuff in the wintertime, and used to be everything, we ordered, and I'd had to order stuff from out west, and if you buy stuff in the wintertime and your paint happens to freeze or something, it was destroyed. You can't use it after it's frozen. So when I got that varnish in and I couldn't do nothing with it, I thought, well, that varnish got froze, in shipment. So I called the company. I called the main company that made it. And Ceramcoat, I looked on the thing and called the main company. He said, we've started having it made in China. So when they shipped it to China to have it made, they changed the formula, trying to get lower cost for them. They wasn't selling it to us no cheaper, but they started having it made in China, and it ruined it. I never could use it again. So sometimes when you change things, it messes it up. Okay, I think I've got all the flowers on there. Hi, Linda, how are you? See, that is pretty, pretty, pretty. See that? Okay, now I've got those little leaves on there. And I wish I had a green, and I don't. So I'm going to take a little tad of silver, and I'm going to hit those leaves. Okay, I see another little flower there that I should have got right here. And these waxes, use whatever suits you. You don't have to do any particular one. Whatever you have and whatever you like, that's what you want to use. Couple of little flowers up there, little tiny ones, and I forgot to do them. Okay, now I'm going to put me out just a little bit of silver, And I'm going to hit and the silver's Rub 'n Buff. And I'm going to hit those leaves with just a little bit of that just to give them a strike of color on them. Okay, because there's a lot of leaves on here. Okay, just here and there I'm going to just strike them with a little bit of that silver. Not putting as much on them as I did on the other pieces. I just want them to come out a little bit. To pull them out, you know, to make them kind of like a highlight. And the silver is strong. Silver Rub 'n Buff. The Rub 'n Buff stuffs are stronger than the waxes. So when you're using them, you have to be careful with them, because you can get them on real strong before you even know it. And if you've still got your paint color, enough of your paint color mixed up, you can go back over them. If you get too much of that on there, you can go back over them a little bit. Because that is a lot stronger coming out of the tube than your waxes are. We used to do a lot of, when we painted canvases, we used Rub 'n Buff all the time for frames. We would do we had a lady who taught us to paint, and her husband made all of our picture frames. And we would do those frames with Rub 'n Buff. And I see a flower there that I missed with the pink. So I'm going to have to go back. I've got one right here that I missed. And I've got a little silver on that brush, so that's making that one just a little bit different. That's okay. Okay, I think I got it done. Just about got it licked, and I'll put a few of the beads on just to show you how to do them. And you can put the beads on, and then you can varnish it. And I sprayed these because they're so little and they're so delicate in there to put a brush in there to varnish them. That brush, when you're varnishing something that has a lot of texture to it like this, with a paintbrush, it's hard to get in there and it not bubble up on you. So I do spray these. And I use the Rust-Oleum 2-in-1 varnish in the gloss. And I sprayed them. And you can spray right over top of your beads. After I put the beads on, then I can take them outside and spray them, and no problem with it. Okay? So I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to show you the beads. And I'm going to put a few of them on with you so you'll see what they are. This is B7000 glue, and let's use these little colored ones here. I'm going to get out some of these little pearls and these little iridescent beads. See, they come in little containers like this. You get them in all different sizes and colors. Some I bought were too tiny, way too tiny. So, and I don't know the millimeter when you're buying them. You're just guessing at it, really. Can't talk to you. Okay, so I'm going to get out my E6000. Now this is if you've not seen, this is a wax pen. Okay, so I've got it, and it's this little thing, tip comes off there, and this is a wax end on it. And that will pick those beads up, just pick them right up for you. So I'm going to go right in here, and I'm going to use a couple of pearls. These are just a bunch of flat back pearls that are all in the same container, all different sizes. And I'm going to put that right in the middle of each one of the flowers. Okay? Okay. Came on late. Where'd you get the textured eggs? Okay, somebody answered that for you. Thank you, girls. Okay, we'll put just a little drop of the 7000 here. And then I'm going to take my wax pen, and I'm going to pick me up a pearl. See, it'll pick it right up. And I've got it backwards, so I'm going to have to flip it over, pick it up, and then just stick it right where you put that glue. That's all you have to do. See how easy that went on there? And then that dries. It dries real quick with that. So I'm going to go around. And when you're working on it, like when I work on this little beetle there, you can put glue in 4 or 5 places at one time. This glue's not going to dry instantly where you can't have to worry about it, you know, drying before you get them on there. But I'm putting a pearl in the middle of each one of the flowers. Okay, one more, I believe, is all I got. No, I've got one more there. Oh, Miranda. Oh, I can't make it. I'll have to call her back. Yeah, girls, I'm sorry. That's my phone. I'm going to turn it down. She leave me a message. I should have turned it down before I started. Okay, I've got one more right here. It must have got glue on it. Okay, now see, I've put a pearl in each one of the little flowers, these little flat back pearls. And I will go in. I'm not going to do any more of them for now. I'm going to do, because you see how to do that. You need a wax pen. Just came from Joann's, 40 to 60% off. And what was that, Lori? 40 to 80% off? Where'd you get the pearls? Oh, okay. The pearls come from, I don't know. I've got some from Temu. I think I got these, I don't know. Either Amazon or Temu or Shein. Last week I got some from Shein. I did get this little one, these little iridescent beads. But you can get them anywhere. Amazon, if you go on Amazon and you do a search for nail art beading, you will get all kinds of them to come up. They're made for fingernails. So, and you can get them, if you shop on Temu, you can get them. You probably can get them in Hobby Lobby. I've not looked in Hobby Lobby for them, but I buy other beads there. But they are just so tiny. The only thing is, when I order them, sometimes I get them too tiny. I've got one box over here that's just, you know, like, they're so tiny that I don't know what you'd use them for. They had to be, but they're nail art beads. But if you get them on Temu or something, that case right there is probably $1.50. If you order them on Amazon, they're more than that. But she's saying there, they may have them, if they got them at Joann's, they're 40 to 80% off. So you just have to look around for them. Just do a search for them. It's okay. There, Wanda's posted a link in there for some of the waxes. She's put in this wax that I like, the one in the tube. She's put a link in there to some on Etsy. I've bought some of it on Etsy. I've bought some on Amazon, and I've bought some from TH Decor. And TH Decor is just thdecor.com. Okay. So this, I don't do anything else to the stand. I'm not going to put anything else on it, because the stand is not, the stand on these, now on the big ones, I made those stands were real elaborate because they stand up high, and I decorated them and worked on them just like I did these. But these, I just want something to support that egg. So I didn't do anything to the stand. It's just it's just an afterthought. So you don't really need to decorate that stand. Okay. Okay, girls, let's see if you got any questions. I'm done with that one. I know the Hobby Lobby has things on sale. Lori, they've changed. Hobby Lobby has changed their policy. They did that back about October, November. Used to be that the same sale was every other week. If glass was on sale this week, it'd be on sale 2 weeks from now also. But I went in looking, because I used to buy a lot of glass from Hobby Lobby when I was doing a whole lot. And I went in one day and I asked the guy there, and he said they had changed all of that. Their sales now they never know what's going to be on sale next week. But then some things stay on sale. Lately, since way before Christmas, they've had jewelry on sale, the jewelry pieces back there, because I buy that chain. It's the gold with the beads on it. It's Metal Gallery. They've had it on sale now for about 2 or 3 months. It's 50% off. So some things stay on sale a long time.